Hi guys, I'm back with another book video, and this time I'm talking about something scary. So it's not spooky season, but it's gonna be scary anyway, because we like to be scared all the time over here. So far in 2020, I've read 10 books and 4.5 of them have been thrillers. I don't know why, they're just really entertaining, and maybe you like thrillers as much as me. So here are some of my recommendations. The first thriller I read this year was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I don't know. That was a complete guess. This thriller was really hyped last year. It came with a lot of really good recommendations, and I did not like it. Wah, wah. You can put the real sound effect over that if you want. But I thought this was very bad. Basically, I guess I just had too high of hopes for this and then ended up not meeting those. The book follows a woman who is a psychiatric patient, and she is silent. She hasn't said a word since this tragic event happened. And there's a psychiatrist who comes and wants to treat her and try to get her to talk. And I will say the plot twist was really good in my opinion, but it did not make up for how slow the whole book was and how it was just, to me, not a suspenseful or well-paced thriller. It was very boring until the end. And even then, the end wasn't amazing. So overall, I thought this was just bad. But it gets better because I read some really good thrillers. Very rarely do I feel like I read a thriller by the same author that I've read other thrillers by. And here's an author for you, Riley Sager. She has written Final Girls, which I read a couple years ago, really enjoyed. And then this year I read her other book, The Last Time I Lied, which I thought was chef's kiss. So good. Really, the thriller genre really redeemed itself after The Silent Patient. And this one, The Last Time I Lied, follows a woman in her late 20s, early 30s who experienced this event. I don't think it'll be a spoiler if I say it. When she went to camp as a teenager, her 3 bunkmates all went missing. They were never found. And so 15 years later, this camp is reopening since that event happened, and she is going to be a counselor there. She's going to try to work through some of her problems that arisen from having her bunkmates disappear. And she's going to go back and try to find some answers. And here's the thing about Riley Sager. She writes so atmospherically that the book wasn't necessarily scary, but the way that she wrote really transported you to that setting, which was creepy and eerie and like just not right. And that's what makes her writing so good, is because it really transports you there. You feel like you're there. It's nothing overtly scary or gruesome. It's all just really puts you in that mindset, and you feel like you're there so that you have to keep reading. It's super suspenseful. And the plot twist in this one was so good. Like, I could not wrap my mind around it. It was amazing. If I sound like I'm out of breath, I am. This is what happens when you get pregnant. I really cannot breathe, but it's fine. So the next one that I read was Truth Be Told by Kathleen Barber, and this one is a TV show on Apple TV, but I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say if it's good. But it has like some famous actors in it. Might be good. From what I've seen from the trailer, it does not look like it has much to do with the book, but I could be wrong. But the book follows a girl whose father was murdered in their house when she and her twin sister were, I think, 17. So their father was shot, and the whole premise is that the other twin, who the book does not follow, it's not her perspective, saw it happen, saw who killed him. That person was convicted and sentenced to prison for life. And this book goes through the process of questioning whether or not the sister really did see what she said she saw. So it points the finger at a bunch of different people, and I was dying to get to the end. It was super, super engaging, and just left a lot of question marks. And I will say the ending was not my favorite. It was a little too cut and dry. I thought there was gonna be some crazy twist the way she set it up and the way the characters were acting. I thought it was gonna be wild, but it was not. It was kind of cut and dry, but the rest of the book was super entertaining and engaging and suspenseful, so you had to know what was gonna happen. So I still recommend that one. And then the fourth one that I read was The Housekeeper by Natalie Borelli. Loved this one. so good. It follows this girl who, she lives in New York City, and it's slowly unveiled to you her tragic past, which is that, this isn't a spoiler because you know this from the beginning, both of her parents have died, she doesn't speak with the rest of her family. Basically, it sets you up for like this major pity party for her. She's sad, she's lonely, she's depressed, all these different things, and she then focuses on this one person who she sees walking by her in New York City. And you don't know at the beginning what her infatuation with this person is. It is unveiled probably 30% of the story through. It is unveiled probably 30% of the way through the story. But she applies to be this woman's housekeeper under the intention of ruining her life. But other things happen along the way that you don't realize, and I'm explaining this terribly. I don't understand how I'm supposed to explain this. But other things happen along the way, and by the end of it, nothing is what you thought it was. And I thought it was super interesting because it really explores the relationship between the main character and this woman who she works for, and they both have kind of ulterior motives. Neither of them are being their true selves, but they still form a relationship. And the ending is a wild ride, so if anything, stick around for that. And then lastly, I am in the middle of reading Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, who is the author I mentioned earlier, who wrote the book The Last Time I Lied. And this one is taking me a while because I can't read it when it's dark outside. It's scary. This is what I was talking about with Riley Sager, is that nothing scary has happened in the book. Nothing truly horrific has happened. And I can't read it because I am scared. I'm gonna push through because I wanna know what happens. But it is so, you just feel like you're almost watching a movie or you're in this setting. It follows this girl who applies to be an apartment sitter at this infamous building in New York City, and she is paid to just live there. And it's too good to be true, which it is, because the apartment is haunted or something. I'm not there yet because I haven't read that much because I'm truly scared. But there's like the creepy wallpaper, and like the other residents are creepy, and the other apartment sitters go missing. It's just very, very transportive. So if I can make it through that one, I'll let you know if I like it. But if you want thrillers that aren't necessarily gruesome or graphic, these by Riley Sager are not, but they are so unsettling if you're looking for that. So, okay, that's all I have for what I've read so far this year for thrillers. I'm sure I'll read more, and if you want to be just as scared on a daily basis as I am, read these. Bye.